Hello everybody, my name is John. Today I'd like to talk a little bit about the Japanese Shinkansen train system.
The train system in Japan is extremely reliable. Not only that, they're very punctual. This is the Shinkansen. The Shinkansen is also known as the bullet train. It's a network of high-speed rails in the country that are operated by Japan Railways Group. Japan Railways is abbreviated JR, and you'll see that all throughout the country. There are essentially two different types of trains that you'll see in the Kansai region. These are the Hikari line and the Nozomi line. The Nozomi line is very fast, whereas the Hikari is not as fast and will have more stops along the way. Typically, the prices for riding on the Shinkansen are a little bit high. The trains, however, operate at extremely fast speeds. The maximum operating speed is about 320 kilometers per hour, which is 200 miles per hour. So a car trip between, for example, Himeji and Nagoya would be approximately 3 hours and 10 minutes or so. Whereas on the Shinkansen, you're going to get there in about an hour. These are very fast, and just to give you an idea of how fast it is, if you stand right next to the train, you almost get sucked in. It's unbelievable. Shinkansen literally means new trunk line, referring to the tracks, but the name is widely used inside and outside Japan to refer to the trains as well as the system as a whole. Currently, the Shinkansen network links most of the major cities on the islands of Honshu and Kyushu, and there's currently construction taking place to link the island of Honshu with Hokkaido, Hokkaido being the northernmost island. For someone visiting Japan, it's very convenient to pick up a JR Rail Pass. You'll save a lot of money if you're there on vacation and you want to travel for cheap. The Shinkansen is an excellent way to travel from many of the major cities in Japan, including Tokyo, Osaka, Kyoto, especially if you want to travel down to Kyushu to see Nagasaki or Fukuoka or Kagoshima. When you're traveling in Japan, if you have questions and you want to go to the information counter, most times they'll speak English. However, if you're in a spot where you're at a discount counter and you want to get a cheap ticket, which I highly recommend if you don't have a JR pass, you're going to want to know some basic vocabulary. One word that's very helpful is the one-way trip, which is katamichi. A round trip is ofuku. And if you're on a budget like I am every day of my life, you're probably going to want to reserve a non-reserved seat. In other words, you don't want to pay extra money to sit in a spot where you could pay a lot less and probably have the same scenery and same type of seat. The reserved seat is a shite seki. Shite seki. Unreserved seat is jiu seki. Jiu seki. So make sure that when you do get your tickets or when you're ordering your tickets from a machine, that you get the unreserved seat. And unreserved is typically the only option you can get from the machines if you're buying one there. The green counter, or Midori no Madoguchi, is a place where you can buy the tickets within the Shinkansen station. However, you are going to pay more for the tickets there at that counter. I would, again, recommend that you pick them up at a discount broker. The Shinkansen is extremely safe. Over its 49-year history, carrying nearly 7 billion passengers, there have been no passenger fatalities due to derailments or collisions, despite frequent earthquakes and typhoons. Injuries and a single fatality have been caused, however, by doors closing on passengers or their belongings. Also, make sure that you look for the unreserved seat section of the train. It's typically toward the back of the train, so when you're lining up to get into the train, make sure you're at the back of the train, or look for the signs that say unreserved seats. Very important there, you're not going to have time to run down to the correct car to get into the train once it arrives.
Alright, so that pretty much sums up everything that I have to say about the Shinkansen train system in Japan. I hope you guys enjoyed watching, and we'll see you guys next time.